So basically, we're going to be going over a lot dealing with social media, especially for other spiritual entrepreneurs, because in my experience, there are so many amazing, gifted spiritual beings that channel directly. There's information coming through, but there's like this barrier between technology that a lot of people have. And even through working with Lynn over this time, like she has so much confidence. And I feel like you now like channel in harmony with like what's being put out there now. It's like you're just in this place of ease and this place of communication, and you work so deeply with technology now to kind of amplify what's coming through. And that's the goal here, is to get everyone into a space where they're utilizing social media, they're utilizing technology in a space where you're able to amplify whatever it is that's coming through. You're able to build your own community. You're able to also continue to spread your gifts throughout the world, because when Lynn and I started, we were just in this little sanctuary in Huntington, right? And we had no online clients at all. And this was before COVID. When you're in that space, you're so limited in what you could do. Like your max capacity, let's say you're in a room, right? It's 20 people, 20 people, $30 events, and once your max capacity, and there's so many expenses involved. In the online world, it's completely different. We've had a Zoom room before with literally 500 people, and we were max capacity. And that's the new potential that this online world can take your group and community into. And the thing with spirit and this work that we do is it's not limited to just what's here, that we can expand our network, we can expand our messaging, our teachings, literally globally. Lynn, how many countries do you work with now?
I think it's like 22. It's
You have
crazy.
people in Germany, you have people in the Netherlands, people in Egypt, people all over the world.
Russia, Singapore, Colombia, um, all over the US, A-
Costa Rica.
Africa. Yeah, Costa Rica, exactly. England, Spain, France, Germany, the Netherlands, Norway. Yeah, it's crazy. All over Europe, this spiritual beings are going to be drawn. It doesn't matter where they are. We're all spiritual beings having these physical experiences, and they're going to be drawn to the light.
Yes. And, as someone who has gained expertise in your field, someone who has genuinely done the work to connect to the light of God in whatever way that you've been called to connect, there's people out there in the world that don't have resources like this, that literally could be in the middle of nowhere, that don't know anyone like you. And they might feel like they're the only one who has those beliefs, who has like a different way of connecting than the people around them. But when you're a spiritual leader and you open up the doorway to your potential online, you're literally connecting people to a community in a place where they were alone in their beliefs, where they were alone in themselves, where they were looking for guidance. And that's the power that we hold when we step into our power. So there's this belief that I fall under, that, especially if you are like someone who has been growing and developing your spiritual gifts and you're on this path so deeply, I believe that the universe sets us up with different like soulmate clients. So I was actually one of Lynn's soulmate clients, because I was at a point in my life where I needed like a really deep healing. And through so many different events, the universe just connected us through synchronicities. And after experiencing these healings with Lynn, it literally changed my life. And that's the work that we do. We change people's lives. And if you're here and if you're listening to this, right, you're at the place where you know that you have power and potency in your message and your deliverance, and you're looking now to expand, right? How do we connect to those soulmate clients? So one of the first steps, especially when you're in the online world, is first really truly being confident and embodying what your purpose is. So, in doing that, you really want to break down what your branding, what your messaging looks like. And branding incorporates several different things. So, your brand is going to be what is your mission? What is your soul's purpose? Your branding is also going to be your colors. How does this look like? How does this feel like? The last part is, how do you want other people to feel when they connect to that energy of your brand? Because, especially for a spiritual business, it's really about having people feel the potential of transformation, having people feel that connection to their faith. That's like the ultimate source of what's going on here, is like where you're the conduit of reconnecting people to this inner truth, to the inner divinity within themselves. So, social media can be a very powerful tool in connecting to those clients if you know how to use it in the right way. So I'm going to go through, there's like a few slides that I've put together, just kind of talking about social media marketing a little bit and a little bit more deeper information about how you can basically step more deeply into your power to attract those soulmate clients. So I say that there's three soul keys to marketing. So it's alignment, expression, and connection. So alignment goes into the place of aligning yourself with your soul's purpose. I apologize about my doggy. He's just really excited. He's always barking. He just gets so excited about this stuff. So with our soul's purpose, if you're in you could be several different phases in your business. And this is like the important thing to know. It's like, are you at the place where you're first initially building your business? Or are you at the place where you already have the foundational pillars built, but you're ready to expand? When you're connecting into that energy, it really tells you what you need to focus on and how you're going to attract and funnel the next people into your world. So, essentially, once you really take the time to reflect and identify who your soulmate client is. So, for example, like I said before, like I would consider Lynn like I was her soulmate client. So, her ideal client at that time was someone who was looking for a deep healing, someone who's ready for transformation, someone who has some level of faith, someone who's like more in tune with the psychic world, someone who is ready to invest in themselves. So that was kind of like my demographic, right? And when I connected to Lynn, it was like she had the tools to address what my needs were. So, an exercise that's really powerful, and for those of you guys who are listening, those of you guys who are tuning in right now, I want you to kind of tune in and think about for a little bit. What are the tools that you have to offer that can help someone on their journey in a deeper way? And just take a moment to reflect about that. Because once you have this understanding, that's really what dictates the next step for yourself. So, for example, one of the clients that I work with are literally the people who are in this room, which are spiritual individuals who are looking to grow their business, right? So, my ideal client is someone who is stepping into their power with their business, someone who is um, already having certain gifts that they want to share and already ready to basically grow their audience, and they already have a few offerings that they need help with. So that what they need is a really important part, because then it dictates what is your offering. How can you then help them to get to the next level? So understanding this kind of will help you to dictate what your content looks like. And Dave, I see you listening and channeling through. Hello.
Hey, how are you? Nice to see you.
Yes, good to see you as well. Where do you think you're at right now in your business? And what do you think is like the next step that you're leaning into?
Yeah, I think that I've just offered a bunch of free classes I've been doing every week for 6 weeks now. I feel that I'm refining the main thing that I think that I want to offer, at least one of them. And I think right now I'm a little shy about deciding what I want to charge people and sort of taking that next step. That's probably where I am.
Well, actually, Lynn's the master of that. That's like her
Right.
expertise in figuring out how to charge. Lynn, what would you say your formula is, right? Because you've done so many years of studying and gaining mastery in what you do, like, and also helping other people to figure out their pricing. What do you think is your kind of threshold in that? Oh, you're on mute, Queen.
What I just said was so profound.
I felt it. I was like,
Yeah, and we missed it. I could feel it, but who knows what it was? Yeah.
It was channeled material. I think that when you're looking at what you're going to do for pricing, there's a couple factors. It's funny, there's another gentleman that I'm doing work with right now. He's down in Australia, and he's like, I only feel comfortable offering $100 for a session. And I said, the work that you do is invaluable. I charge $1,222 and was told to raise my prices. And he's like, how can you do that? And I said, because I let go of the vows of poverty. And he had a lifetime as a friar, he had a lifetime as a monk, and a lifetime as a priest. And there were these three very, very strong vows of poverty, because what these religious orders said was, you're not going to take anything. Everything is for the glory of God, i.e., the church. And so these very, very strong, I will live a chaste existence, I will have vows of poverty, are still in play. So that's one of the like spiritual realms of things. Then you have to look at the length of time that you're offering something. Is it going to be a 1 day course? Is it going to be something over several days? Is going to be something over several weeks? And then I love angel numbers. People love angel numbers. People will pay 222, 555, 888, 12,222, 22,222, 55,555. People the other day, a bunch of money showed up, and it was just like, it was fun watching all the sequential digits. But I think it's really a conversation to be had between yourself and source, yourself and spirit, and to check with your guidance. And if you're finding that you're reluctant to, when I started, I was charging $100 an hour. I mean, I get it. And now I have no compunction about saying, I charge $1,222, but I'll give you friends and family, and I'll charge you, 688, or I'll give you Jesus pricing for 333. And it's literally a case by case by case basis. And there's what I charge for a class. I charge 3,333 for an 8 week long program to give people the kind of tools to go into business for themselves. And, if they come within a certain community, I'll say, okay, 2888, or within another community, 2222, or here's a 6 month payment plan. So those are tools that I have always used. So first you got to look at yourself and look at what you're attracting and what your beliefs are. Go in and do that healing work, and then price it according, like I'll have a 8 week book club and charge $88 for it, or I did a whole series of masterminds with Jesus, and it was 5 weeks, and it was 5 people in a group, and I made it $555, and 28 people signed up. I mean, it just, the thing blew out. So when you're in alignment, like Jesus and I were in alignment with that, we had groups of these 5 people, and we met for 5 weeks, and each person got about, 10 or 15 minutes with him. It was really, really cool. 10 or 12 or whatever it was. But find something that's in alignment with you. Find something that you believe in, that you have such confidence in. Find something that lights you up, that you can sell because you love it and you believe in it. Because if you don't believe in it, people are going to smell that and they're not going to buy anything.
That's so true. That was a
The
beautiful
end.
channeled message.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty great.
Yeah. You know, and it's so funny. I have a business partner, Wendy, that I'm working with now, and she's like, I charge $99. And I was like, oh my God, Wendy, you're killing me. She went up to 444 and she's like, next year I'll raise it to 888. And I said, all right, that's upward growth.
A huge
Which
part of it is just the belief in yourself,
I,
and
if you can't have, if I have a mentor that charges 55,000 a month and she gets it because she has that level of belief in herself, and I've had
yes.
people that paid me my fees. It's fun when all of a sudden the PayPal thing is like cha-ching. It literally makes the sound of an old cashier, cha-ching, and then money shows up and you're like, so and so has just paid you. I just got a payment for like $12,000 the other day. I mean, it's fun, but I know what the value is that's being given, you know? So you just have to, kind of flow with that. It's definitely, you have to believe in what you're doing. I have confidence about the work that I do. I'm insecure as fuck about other things, but with regards to this stuff, no one can knock me off because I've mastered this. I've done it for over 30 years. I have the certificates to prove it, you know. So what I believe in, I can sell. And that's a big part of it. What
And you
you
also
believe,
live it. You live
I
it.
I do. I mean, I'm in the middle of a workshop right now. There are 25 of us in this class, and we're going deeply into our feelings, and it's like we all come out of there and we want to vomit. And it's real. We're in there doing our work. So as long as you're growing and learning and doing your own work, I think that you can say to somebody, you got to step up and you got to do this. But if you're not doing your own work, don't be a hypocrite and, leave my name out your mouth kind of thing.
Yeah, I had a thing I had a client the other day who was kind of, I talk about feeling like I'm providing value. I had somebody who'd been doing, well, they're a way of mastery student, but they've been teaching it for a long time too. And had an issue. They just couldn't get over. They've been going to traditional therapy for a long time. And in an hour, boom. And they're
Dave,
like,
you're ridiculously effective. So,
Yes.
I think that you saying, "Hey, I charge Jesus pricing 333," or you offering something that's over a length of time and charging 3,333 is a no-brainer, given
Yes.
what you studied, what you learned, your facility, your ability as a facilitator. I think there's no problem with that.
what I found was when I thought about raising my prices, then immediately people who'd been used to paying, what I've charged, right, showed up, and I'm like, oh shit, what do I do about that? So
Wendy went through the same thing, and she said, "Look, here's the cutoff date." And I mean, Alicia and I, when we do we offer early bird pricing,
yeah.
and people
Yes.
Yeah, I thought about offering any amount of sessions booked prior to X date,
that
you could get the
my
old price.
going up in January, book now to get a
Yeah,
save. It's like early bird, and people go through that FOMO, and it's like they definitely want to have an experience of saving money. And people will save thousands of dollars if they do the early bird.
right.
And the payment plans on PayPal are fabulous. People love that. That's another really key tool.
Good to know about. Yeah.
Subscription agreements.
Yes.
No,
I
I can
I walked
honestly,
I
yeah,
walked into
yeah.
this year.
Sorry.
I walked into this year with accounts receivables of $9,000 every month. You know, so walking into this year, it was going to be over six figures that I
Right.
didn't work for because of the payment agreements that I had set up with people.
They're already set up from past sales. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I think this idea of doing an early bird, sort of a cutoff for things. That's
Yep.
then
Just tell
people.
people. Tell people, look, I invested my time, my energy, my money. I took another class. I've learned a whole other suite of tools. I'm going to be bringing that to the market. And in it, I've realized that I need to raise my prices because I haven't since 1984, like whatever your story is. Yeah.
Yes. And it's that consistency that really gets people, is just like showing you have a container. Like at the end of the day, exactly what Lynn is saying, it's like a business, that you're stepping into. And for example, like if Sears is having their holiday sale, it's only going to be for that time frame. It really gets people to be like, okay, I got to get this within this time. And also having that kind of grounded aspect to your business, because if you're too loose with the boundaries, and I've been victim to that. And Lynn would be like, all right, you got to make sure you do this. And like just really putting the boundaries in your business can really help you with that growth. And with that, it also gives you clear direction for your social media plan. Like if you know that there's an early bird pricing, then you could start to promo and do different things that then lead up to like the big drop where it's like, okay, like this is the last day for the early bird pricing. And then after that, we go up. It gives you organizational structure in your business.
Yeah, thank you. Lynn has always said she's psychic, but I want to know how she knew that I haven't raised my prices since 1984.
We have a best friend in common, and he tells me a lot of shit about you.
She got it from the little psychic birdie.
Right.
Otherwise known as Yeshua ben Joseph.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. He gets around.
Yeah, he does.
That's so
He's
fun.
very popular.
He's a very popular guy. Yeah. Bit of a media hog.
Dave,
But he's
always
jumping in front. Always jumping in
he's,
front of the next teacher.
he's laughing right now. This is great. My favorite is when he rolls his non-existent eyes. He's like, ugh.
He rolls his non-existent eyes. Yeah.
Dave, you have such a gift. You feel deeply, and that is so necessary. You know, I think anything less than 888 is unworthy of you. But and again, I'm a baller when it comes to this shit. I'm sorry, I've
You
got some
are.
of
Yeah.
But you could also work your way up too, like you could be like slowly raise your pricing over time is like a really good way to also, like Lynn was saying, create your boundaries. Be like, due to the, like, if anyone is asking you why you've raised your prices, just be like, due to the amount of work that I've been doing, the courses that I've been taking, really tapping into your credentials. How many years of experience do you have? How much investments did you make in yourself? This is all validating that
when
raising of prices.
you and I had a conversation about a six-figure investment that you had made in a body of work where you had been for over 30 years. So, amortize that. And at the very least, I would think that you charging 333, 888, Magdalene loves 8, Yeshua loves 3,
Yes.
11. People love 1111.
Yeah.
Maybe 1111 is for a workshop. You start at 333 and you make your way up.
And there's different entry points, to have things on multiple different levels. There might be someone who just, wants to connect, have those free offerings. Then someone who wants to invest just a little bit, have something like Lynn and I are working on meditation CDs together, something where they can feel and experience your energy, but they're still investing. Even the book, that's like another thing, but then like if they want to work with you more deeply, opening the opportunity for them to even invest in you on that level. And this is something that like I learned from my mentor as well, Melissa, that I've worked with, who helped me to kind of like dive more deeply into marketing strategies. But she said this one quote. It was something like, if you don't open the door to say that you're welcome and you're open to receiving whatever number this is, then no one's going to give that to you, if you can't say it for yourself, like this program is $3,000, then you're limiting the potential of what you can make.
And here's
So
another really cool thing. The month
yeah,
that you were paying her for that period of time, the 6 months that you were working with her,
I
you were
made
making
it.
you made so much money, because whatever we spend, like me throwing down $33,000 for a mastermind or $22,000 for a mastermind, meant that I knew that I could charge that because I had paid that. And people were like, I had a $200,000 launch with a mastermind that was 22,222, and people paid it. Some people paid in full. Some people did payment plans. You know, when you've spent, and so you've invested over six figures, Dave.
Yeah, yeah.
So, you can, what would a year of work with you be? I offer teaching, I offer healing, I offer mentoring. The teaching is when you're going to come to a class. Um, and do something that's like small, medium, and large, like have an $88 offer, have a $333 offer, have an $888 offer, or, have something for 1111 or 2222. You want to hit people at different price points. My mentor, Melanie, taught me so much. And she said there was a woman who used to pay her $100 and she wouldn't show up to the sessions. And then Melanie raised her prices to 500, and the woman started showing up and she said, "Oh, thank God." She said, "I didn't think you were worth showing up for."
I
You know?
totally hear this idea that I think I'm not doing people a service because they're not valuing it. I mean,
Yeah.
my class basically was supposed to be, it's sort of $25, but I don't enforce it. Like it's, if you requested fee, energy exchange. But I think that it's like, that's not really helping. And most people aren't paying it. So it's not really, I've done it for
Right.
It
6
doesn't
weeks.
feel energetically good for what you're investing in it.
Exactly. You're investing your time. What is your time worth?
Right. And there's a great expression, I'm a painter, and there was a story where somebody goes up to Van Gogh, and Van Gogh's off painting in the field at an easel. And the guy says, "Wow, I'd give half my life to be able to paint like that." And Van Gogh said, "Yeah, I just did." So it's kind of the same. Yeah, I feel like there are times when people have sessions with me where I think I can't price it. I mean, this is stuff from lifetimes ago that they've spent years and years struggling with now, and now it's gone. And I check with them a year later. No, it's gone. So I don't, I feel like the value's there. I just you know all these different, I'm sure that you're right about I clearly have a block with money because I didn't show up for a couple of the abundance classes. It just sort of, I showed up for everything else, religiously, but those ones I forgot or something happened. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, okay.
Soul level
The
resistance.
ego makes it suddenly, opaque, and you're like, what are you talking about? What class? I get
Right,
it. So, again, do the work spiritually, do the work mentally, do the work emotionally, and physically, offer the program and
right. I
offer.
mean, I'm on the verge of sort of constructing a curriculum for the first class and thinking how long I want it to be. But I don't know what a number should be for thinking of like 333 for 6 classes. Is that a reasonable first offering?
It's way undervalued.
It's way undervalued. Yeah.
I
Uh,
mean, just do the math,
no, well,
how
it's
many,
50. Yeah, it's
how, like,
50.
figure out what is your hourly rate worth. If your time, this is how Wendy and I came up with the 55,555 for the program.
Yeah.
We looked at how many hours we're going to put into it. We looked at the retreats that we were going to be doing. We looked at everything that we're going to be offering. Everybody gets a private, and that came out to 55,555.
Yeah.
And for 4 retreats, for all the classes, and for 24 private sessions.
Well, that's a tremendous amount that you're offering there too.
I know,
Yeah.
I know, I know. So, you just have to look at what your value is. And if you know that your value is 333 an hour, and you're doing 2-hour classes, that's 666. And you're doing 6. So I would price it at
Right. If I want,
price.
if I can get 10 people sign up for a class that's 333 for 6 classes, it's about $550 a class. So that's if I get 10.
Okay.
So I mean, that seems like a decent, it's also a big
I,
jump for where things have been. So sorry.
yep. No. When Wendy was going to raise her prices, some people bristled, and Wendy was like, "Look, why do you think my prices are going to stay the same? I'm growing, I'm developing, I'm learning, and I've spent money on my training. So, that goes into the price of the offer."
Would you advise against charging 333 for 6 classes for a first time? Like, this is my first
No,
time.
I think it's a big, dipping your toe in the pool. Dave, here's another thing. When Alicia and I opened up the retreat to Egypt, we had 5 people sign up the first day, and by the second day, I think we had 9 for the trip. Like
Yeah.
it sold like hotcakes, and it
It's
was
like when it was like full alignment with that
yeah, and
program.
it's fully aligned. I've had classes where there's 20 students, and I've had classes where it's crickets.
Right, yeah.
You
The,
know,
the
And
other
it
thing
will
and
was,
vary.
the other
it
one,
will totally vary.
the other thing, I was Akashicking today with Joshua, and he did say to get in touch with you about, because I had this, I said, look, what do I want my day to look like? Well, I'd really like to be doing work with groups of people in person too, and traveling and doing retreats. So that just sort of came up as something. So, that's another thing I want to explore, that I think that would be great. So I know that that's down the road maybe, but it's just yeah, it's funny. He just told me this a couple hours ago, and I'd totally forgotten about this actually. So I went back to the house, and I'm glad I came back and did see you both. Yeah.
There
Um,
we are. That's the thing. It's like when it's time to connect to your soulmate clients, the universe, they get the ring in their ear and you show up. That's half of it, is you showing up and them having the trust that there's something out there, that they're seeking for something. And by you stepping into your power, you're fulfilling your end of the bargain. You're meeting them on the bridge.
I hear that. I do. Yeah.
So,
Well, all right.
yeah, it's definitely a journey. And I'm just going to go through some of the last tips for social media. And then I'm also going to talk a little bit about the group program that Lynn and I are going to be doing towards the end of the year. And
Right.
also like a little bit more about some of the different offerings we're working with. So I'm so
Before
excited.
you do
Lovely.
that,
Yeah. Go for it. Yeah.
I want to check in with Laura and Katie and see, did you guys have any particular specific
Yeah,
questions you wanted to
I,
ask of?
I see that also Laura, you don't have your microphone working, so if you want to pop something in the chat, you can.
And Katie, I know you had a little struggle getting on, but I'm glad that you made it. Are there any particular questions that we can answer for you guys?
Thank you, but I don't have any questions. I was just here listening, taking it all in. I
Okay,
appreciate you.
Yay,
you're very
amazing.
welcome. Very welcome.
Okay, and Laura, if you want to type something in the chat or just telepathically send it to us. I'm going to talk about the next thing, but if you have any questions, type it in the chat. So one of the major parts for social media, and so many people ask me this, it's like, how do you know what to post? Like, how do you know what it looks like? How do you know what it sounds like? Finding your voice is key to this, and exactly what we were talking about before. The first parts is first understanding that soul's purpose and your branding. And the next part is really figuring out with your offerings how you want it to look like. And we were kind of workshopping with Dave a little bit to talk about like what his offerings looks like. So when you're finding your voice, you essentially want to step in to the other side of it. You want to imagine yourself being the person that's scrolling on social media and sees that post. So you want to put your footsteps into the footsteps of the soulmate client. And there's so many different tools and techniques available. And even AI is such an amazing tool. I'm going to give you guys a mini AI tutorial just to show you like how amazing these new tools are, to show you like just what the capabilities are. So if you guys don't already have a Canva subscription, I completely recommend you get it. It's going to give you all of the tools that you need for marketing your business, for creating graphics. So let's say, for example, you're doing like a free meditation class on Zoom and you want people to sign up for it. So one of the things is that first you need to really decide what your branding, what your coloring and things like that looks like. But once you have that established, it's so much easier than before to create all of these different materials. So I'm going to give you an example. So let's say we're hosting an abundance meditation. Instagram post for an abundance meditation with a purple cosmic background. All right. So I literally just typed this into the AI and it's going to load. And then it gives you all of these different options, but you'll find the one that you really connect to that's like a good template. Because it'll even start to get you off with the text and stuff like that. And it'll give you all of these options already created. So the more that you also understand your branding, the more that you're able to make this prompt more specific. The more specific you make your prompt, the more it will kind of match that energy. You can even go back and edit your prompt, or you could click on whatever one you feel like is the most aligned and then make your edits from there. So let's say I choose this one. So once you're here, you could then start to tap into your elements. What are the elements that really describe this? So there's even an AI image generator. So I'm going to show you guys this. A woman meditating in a galactic library in the cosmos. And then for all of this, like I said, it's included in your Canva account. These are all new features that have been included. But check that out. All of these things just created for you. Lynn's like, I want to use one of those for our Akashic record class.
Dude, AI has blown my mind. When we were doing the Magdalene book, I reached out to someone that Alicia and I have worked with in the past. He's really good with wordsmithing. And I gave him a basic premise of what we wanted on the back. And he came back with this thing, and I was just blown away. And I was like, oh my God, how did you do that? And he goes, I popped it into AI, and I was sold. I have to run to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Oh, yeah, no worries. Okay. I'm just going to keep going with this. So basically, like once you have this, it's so easy to just put in your own text and really match your energy. So really, one of the things that we're going to actually be tapping into in the course that Lynn and I is going to be hosting is getting clear with your branding, getting clear with your messaging. And I'm going to show you how to use all these tools, but I'll show you in a little bit, like what the class is going to be about. But it's literally that easy. All you do is you type in what you desire, and it's like the bridge between limitation and reality is completely gone. You just created your whole flyer. What are you thinking right now, Dave? I feel like you're going through it.
But it's just ridiculous.
I know.
God, unbelievable. I mean, I have Canva and I use it all the time, but I haven't used that new stuff. And yeah, that's pretty crazy.
There's so many different features and so many things that you could tap into that make it easier than ever to help your business, you know? And it's so powerful. Look, we've already created this in like
Yeah, it's
literally 2
beautiful.
minutes.
Yeah,
2
it's
minutes.
it's a beautiful post, and that's going to be for an Instagram post, but could be anything, obviously.
You could also resize it. So that's the thing, is like you're able to resize everything, you know? And once you have a few things created, it's like super easy to just switch it around to make sure that it matches what you desire. So social media has different parts to it, right? So it's, when we think about it this way, we'll basically step into what can you offer people through your social media to lead into that conversion, right? So exactly what we get into, like hosting the free classes, that's the awareness, posting educational materials, helping people in different ways through social media, posting tips. This all helps people to go down your funnel. And once they get to a certain point, then making them loyal clients. Exactly what Lynn is talking about before. How can you have people invest in you multiple different times, and also like monthly recurring revenue, right? When you're in business yourself, It's not like you have that steady, reliant paycheck that's constantly coming in, but you can create that for yourself when you create those long-term, long-standing programs. There's so many different ways to go about it. So we talk a little bit about email marketing as well, website design, and using like SEO marketing and things like that as well. So the next program that Lynn and I are doing, which we're so excited about, we've actually run this program 3 different times now. And the second time that we ran it, we actually had 17 people in the class, and it was just amazing. It was like so many people like creating their branding, creating their businesses for the first time, creating the foundations of them for what they're creating for themselves. So essentially, our program is called Your Year of Abundance. And essentially, what this program is about is teaching you the bottom up tools that you need to create the solid foundation for your business. So it's a marketing intensive mastermind to help you essentially like step into your power. So it's 9 90-minute classes. It starts in December to January. And this class is going to include weekly meditations. It's going to be a community of other entrepreneurs, and Lynn is going to be teaching her intuitive healing techniques, psychic surgery, and clearing the clairs. But we're also going to be learning about some of the tools and techniques to run your business, including social media marketing, including website design, including all of these new tools about AI, creating landing pages. We're even going to teach you guys how to create your own ebook. There's so many different things that are like included in this that really help people to create a long-standing, abundant business for themselves. So it's really for someone who has an idea of like certain offerings that they want for their business, and they're ready to grow, get to the next level of calling in income for themselves, and to really step deeply into the online space as well. So it's really going to be a powerful offering, and I'm so excited for it. And last time we just had so much fun. Like it was just so amazing. Like everyone, like Lloyd was in it, like Nina was in it. There were so many amazing people, and they were all supportive of each other too. You know, it's like basically a group mastermind to help you build your business in a group of spiritual individuals in a community together.
Yeah, it's really beautiful how they've all stay connected and support each other.
Yay. So basically, right now, the early bird paid in full pricing is $2,222, and that's for the full program. The pricing is going to go up to $2,888. And there's also VIP slots available. So the VIP slots also include 3 one-on-one sessions with both Lynn and I, an abundance gift box, and also I'm going to create like Canva templates for those people. So I'm going to work with them one-on-one. If you're not VIP, I'm going to basically like walk you through how to do this, but the VIPs like get me to create it for them and stuff like that too. So we're so excited for this program. So it'll be December 6th to January 31st.
And the reason that we spread it so we prepare you to have a great launch in January, and then we walk you through making sure that it's successful.
Yes. Yeah, and it's a really amazing program because essentially what you learn from here, it gives you the tool set, the confidence levels to really step into the next level of your business. Yes. Does anyone have any questions or anything?
I just have a comment. You guys always have a really beautiful presentation. You're both a pleasure to work with. You present enthusiastically and positively and professionally, and I always learn something new when I talk to you. So it's a pleasure always.
Thank you, love.
Yay, thank
Thank you very much.
you. We're so grateful for you, Dave, and we can't wait to just see your journey as you continue to do your stuff, and we're always here to support you.
Well, I've been moving along. I've the last 2 months, I've started writing, based on, see where if I have one here, I got these books from Lynn's, the quantum, Lee's
Mhm.
workshop.
Oh,
So
yes.
I changed that around, and I've got Christ Mind teaching things that I've been doing and sending
Oh,
out to my groups.
I
Oh, I
love
And
love
they're,
that. That's
and
amazing.
they're like 5 different ones. So I've done quite a lot of writing and sort of creating a little bit of a library of and now I'm thinking a bit more specific curriculum stuff, but I've got one on the Course of Miracles, one on Way of Mastery, one on Power of Forgiveness, one on what do I call that? The power of insight or insight awareness. So I've been doing quite a lot and teaching weekly. So I'm learning gradually. Yeah, I'm getting there. Linda, you both inspire me.
Yay, I'm so glad.
Hey, there's a group of us that are going to
Amazing.
start doing a course of love in January. We were gonna do the early years, and I was told that's not the direction to go. So that's
Yeah.
going to be the platform on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. If you ever want to join, you're
Wow,
invited.
thank you. I know Mary a bit and have seen the work. I've never been called to do it. So we'll
Okay.
see. Yeah, but I appreciate the invitation very much.
Yeah, of course.
I'm,
All right.
I'm
Yay.
I thank you all for being here. Laura or Katie, is there any questions we can answer for you?
No, I'm good, but thank you again. It was very enlightening.
You're
Oh,
very,
I'm
very
so
welcome.
glad. Yes, and
Thank
we're gonna host another one too before our next class as well. So we're so excited.
Happy
Okay.
Friday, everybody. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat
Much love.
shalom.
Peace out.
Peace to both
Talk
of
to
you.
We'll
Lovely
talk
seeing you.
soon. Thank
you too.
you.
Bye, darlings.
Bye.